What's up, guys? Atom Bacon here. Welcome back to more Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. In the last episode, we did a whole bunch of police missions, and I followed up a technically flawless, well, not so much flawless as no penalty rapid response, followed up immediately by a absolutely horrible performance in another rapid response. Anyway, in this episode, we're getting some new equipment.
The cops in Seacrest County continue to increase their presence. To fight fire with fire, your car has been fitted with a police-spec EMP system. The EMP system fires a directed electromagnetic pulse from your car to a target vehicle. The system requires an active lock-on to correctly track the target. Once fired, you are required to keep the target car within range and line of sight for the tracking system to engage. If a cop is hit with the EMP, their patrol car will be damaged and temporarily disabled. Use the time wisely.
Yeah, so, the police cars got the EMP in the last episode, and now we get the EMP for the racist. But yeah, we did a whole bunch of police missions yesterday. Last episode, which actually was only like 2 minutes ago for me. So to make up for that, I'm going to be dedicating this episode to mostly racer events. I'm trying to keep a good mix, but I kind of lost track of myself in the last one. Anyway, Hot Pursuit. Alright, this is interesting. It's just a one-on-one duel race. I think I've done a duel already. I'm 90% sure I have, but this time it's a duel with police. And as always, due to the presence of police, you can perform takedowns on your opponent as well. Which again, are not the most practical. You don't even get bounty for it, but it's fun nonetheless. Ooh, that was close. He seems to be focused more on him than me. That worked. I don't know why I'm being so aggressive in this, but yeah. Speaking of driving aggressively, there's a DLC you can get for this game that adds an extra multiplayer mode. Wow, okay, that was unfortunate for him. It adds an extra multiplayer mode called Arms Race, and I found that. Wow, oh wow, I hit a different cop with that, okay. Again! Twice in a row, I missed the one I was aiming for and hit that guy instead. Just barely clipped him with that at the edge. Use him to shunt my way through the roadblock. I like how it says dodged roadblock when I literally just used my opponent as a battering ram. That guy's gaining on me. The rear view mirror, a very helpful tool. Oh! Strangely enough, I find, if anything, I seem to take the most damage in these kind of events. Oh boy. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Wait. Oh my god, that worked. And we made it alive. Came in first place out of 2 races. And we got the Porsche 911 Turbo S Cabriolet. Again, with me being terrible at reading cursive. Which is kind of stupid. I'm 17, but oh well. Sidewinder. It's a time trial. Does that say? I honestly can talk about the 39 and 89. I think this is 30. You know, I actually really liked how the Grand Cabrio handled, so I think I'll keep using that for a little while. Using yellow this time. Right. I was trying to remember what type of event this is. Fortunately, unlike rapid response, these aren't quite as strict. You still want to do your best, though. I say as I almost run right into a ball. As you play this game for a while, you really start to notice the minuscule difference in the feeling of any given car's handling. And it's like you become one with the car, and any little differences stand out like a sore thumb once you're used to a certain kind of car and switch to something radically different. It can be trying. So it's good to be able to drive a diverse array of cars and not be bound to only a small pool, because as we've seen plenty, many events restrict what kind of vehicles you can use. Oh, pardon me. This will probably be the last episode I record tonight because I'm starting to get tired. That's the time that I normally go to bed. Can I land this shortcut? Nice. Very reminiscent of one of my favorite tracks in Hot Pursuit 2. And there goes the goal. There's the finish line. Whee! Bronze, not the best, but I'll take it. And we didn't even get any rewards for that. Oh, lovely. Let's see, the ultimate road car. Complete control or encore performance. I think they'll do complete control. Duels can be fun. Alright. I'll roll with this.
durch Technik, lead through technology.
Wow. Hmm. Just for the fun of it, I'm gonna try to shadow this race. I mentioned what I like to call shadow driving before, which is where you have a dark colored car, if not black, then a dark blue, and turn off all the lights and try to just drive. I'm gonna try to do that for the whole race, just because these events are a little generic, so it'll make it a little more interesting for me. As you can see, it can be a bit difficult to see my car sometimes, but that's what makes it fun. Take first place. All you have is the vague moonlight and the flashes of lightning and headlights of my opponent when he's close to me. Other than that, you don't have much to see by. Well, except when you go through these little areas, then you have a little more to go by. And oh my god, he somehow got way ahead of me. I have no idea how he rocketed ahead so far there. But I'm starting to catch back up to him, so no big deal. A nice thing about duels is it's kind of impossible to get, well, it is, ow. It is literally impossible to get bronze, or anything below that. So, worst come to absolute worst, you'll get a silver. That being said, it's good to try to get it higher. And I'm not going to go for that shortcut. Not if I'm shadow driving. Oh my god. I'm 8.39 seconds behind him. That is ugly. For those who don't play a lot of racing games, I know some people have asked what that means when it says, when it measures distance between races by a time like that. Because essentially what that is saying, for those of you who aren't racing game aficionados, like it says right there, I'm 10.16 seconds. That means that at that very moment, if he were to come to a dead stop, that's how long it would take me to reach him at the speed I'm going. That is what that means. A rather interesting way of measuring distance. Okay, 6.96. I'm gaining on him. That's good. It's kind of odd and a little arbitrary since it just kind of flashes up. Okay, you notice my headlights turned on there? That happens automatically when you enter a tunnel. Oh! Crud. I am gonna have a hard time catching up to him at this point. Okay, I have 5 kilometers left, though. I may be able to do this still. I have 5 kilometers. But they clipped on for a second there and I turned them off again. When you do this, it kind of makes you feel like a ninja, almost. Just sneaking through the shadows. Never try this in real life, though. This is ridiculously stupid, even in the game. And if you were to try something this ludicrous in real life, you would likely get yourself and or someone else killed. Or at least seriously injured, so... In real life, never drive without your headlights. And always obey the rules of the road. Save the stupid shit for video games. 1.4 kilometers. I am not gonna catch up to him. There's no way. Oh, okay, he already finished. See, silver. Kind of a cheap way to. Kind of a cheap win, really, when you think about it. But oh well. And we got the Jaguar XKR. Extreme Truth. Ultimate Road Car. Escape Lane. Uncle Performance. Ooh. The McLaren F1. This is a hyper car. It's set, as the title says, the ultimate road car. This is essentially a tier 5 car. Not quite the fastest car in the game, but up there. Man, I haven't driven this fast, well, since before I restarted my file. Feels kind of good again. Takes some getting used to. But I honestly find the McLaren is actually one of the better hypercars. Speaking of hypercars, we're not going to get into them for a while, but I mentioned before those DLC events that I'm probably not going to touch into. Those came with a couple of specific DLC cars. I'm going to try my best to avoid using DLC cars outside of the DLC missions if I ever do. Like I know I have a car called the Apollo, which is a DLC, and a slightly more advanced version of a car we'll unlock later. Which, I'm gonna try not to use cars that are not, I'm gonna try not to use DLC cars unless I decide to show the DLC races. I might show the Apollo off in one race though. Admittedly, the Apollo is actually the slowest car in this class, so essentially the worst of the best. Handles like a dream, but has the lowest top speed. I love its design though. But yeah, the McLaren F1 is honestly one of my favorites hyperclass cars. It's not the fastest, but I do find it has, in my opinion, some of the best. I think it has the best balance of speed and handling of any of the cars in that class, and among some of the best in the game for that balance. Just like, I haven't used these cars in ages, and then pick up the McLaren F1 here for this, and it all just feels natural using this car. Like so as you probably saw in some of those preview missions, I was kind of clunky with the awkward speed and controls, but with this one, it's not like that at all. Like, yeah, sure, I have a couple of bumps like that, but for the most part, it feels pretty natural. So, once we get into the hyper races, you may see me using this car a lot. But I'll try to divvy it up and use a variety of cars. Because I get it does get kind of boring watching the same thing. Hence why I try to keep a variety of missions, not doing a bunch of the same kind of mission, and usually not doing too many, or trying to alternate between cops and racers, with the exception of last mission where I kind of got away from me, and this mission, which is to make up, episode, which is to make up for last episode. But after this, I'm probably going to go back to alternating them a lot. 1 kilometer left. should be able to make this. And nailed it. Silver. And I don't have time to record another episode after this, but I'm not quite done playing, so I'm gonna do one more cop mission and one more race mission, and then I'll call it quits. I'll do Summit Assault. And I think I saw one Hot Pursuit mission available for the others as well, so I'll do one Hot Pursuit mission in each class and then call it a night. So, you get a slightly longer episode today. Alright, and I believe this is the first mission where we actually have all 3 weapons available. Not counting the helicopters, obviously, because we haven't gotten into those yet. But of the available weapons that have been unlocked so far, this should be the first one where we're seeing all 3 used in one event. 4 of each. Is nitrous this is hard? Yeah, I know. That's for 5 busts to get distinction. And we have 20.2 kilometers to pull it off in.
High priority situation on Fairview Road.
Oh, that was beautiful. Just get those roadblocks out right away. Oh my god, I swerved at the very last second. That was kind of stupid. There we go. The roadblock made up for it.
All units here clear for 1067. I repeat, spike strips are now authorized over.
Wait, when did I use a spike strip? Ah, yes.
Local EMPs are authorized for use. Contact. Spike strip deployed. We are showing spike strip deployed at your location.
Yeah, as you get into these more advanced events, the racers are definitely going to be fighting back a lot more. So get used to this kind of stuff. Admittedly, jammers aren't nearly as much of an annoyance in these as they can be in interceptor missions. Because here it's just disabling your weapons. Well, okay, it is disabling your minimap too, but the disabling of the minimap doesn't hit you as hard here because they're on a set course, as opposed to the sporadic, spontaneous movements that they like to take in interceptor missions. So, it's really more of a minor nuisance than a game-changing handicap. Honestly, I find with these, the best way to go about with roadblocks is to just spam them a lot early on while they have a chance to catch out multiple opponents. Because later on, when there's less, they're less likely to hit them. So using them early on, I find, is the best strategy. Just basically blow them all off one after another. Not quite a bust. And down goes all of them. Halfway through the race, okay. Halfway through, I think I've only gotten one of them, actually. This isn't going too well. Well, thanks, game. Thanks very much for that. Just make them disappear right before I hit them. I filled up my nitrous real quick. I don't know how long I'm going to be on this. I should be able to get one more easily, but I don't know if I'm going to get much more than a bare pass. Which is kind of sad, because these are usually where I do some of my best performances. Keyword, usually. Really? Took the shortcut. Being battered on. Oh my god, I only have 4.5 kilometers left. There we go! Finally got him. This is not going too well. And we just got a pass. That was close. With that.
I've made contact. He has sustained some damage.
And there's the ending. So I only got 2 of them. Well, that was humiliating. Oh, equipment upgrade.
SCPD pursuit bulletin. Rolling out across the department. Ford Shelby Interceptor have been introduced to add more muscle to your roadblocks. Roadblocks of the SCPD in association with Ford.
So yeah, the roadblocks have a little more girth to them now. Meaning... And then one more hot pursuit of the other type. And then we'll call it quits after this one. Got 3 strips and 3 EMPs. And apparently I'm really tired. Which would probably explain why I'm not talking quite as much as I sometimes do. That was an easy way to take first place. Oh, didn't quite go as I hoped. Ah! Tried to avoid the spike strip and I crashed into a car. Oh, damn it. Eesh, that was a bit of a pileup there, wasn't it? Okay then. Also, my car looks... My car looks like it's taken more damage than it actually has. That was a really careless use of... Okay, then. I was gonna say it was a really careless use of a spike strip because I kind of just it down. But it's like there were so many people coming at us for somebody who did it. Well, alright then. That's... You want to be really careful when you're slipstreaming, especially when you're slipstreaming cops, because they can very easily just completely deny you by doing that. It can cause you some real troubles.
Are you monitoring this? This guy's gonna do a lot of damage.
I've taken a lot of damage. And to get the EMP rack. Fills up my nitrous, I can catch up. Ouch, that looked painful. Wasn't even going for the takedown. And we get the new interceptor unit. Mm-hmm. 6.8 kilometers left in the race. All my weapons are long gone. This is all a fight of skill now. That was a very convenient time for me to get that wreck.
I'm putting together units ahead of your position. Maintain current route.
That's a problem. Perhaps less of a problem considering everyone else hit me as well. And generally, the racers usually won't use their weapons against you, so slipstreaming your fellow racers usually isn't as risky as slipstreaming a cop. That being said, holy cow, my health is low. Oh jeez, that was close.
Confirmed. Officer fleet use care.
And so a full boost of speed that I need. 1 kilometer to the finish line. Don't get the pass, but second place will be just fine. Got a new car. Chevy Corvette Grand Sport. And with that, I think we're going to end this episode off here. Next time, I'll try to go back to my more balanced mission layout. But we'll see.